Hi, NATO. We're just getting ready. Holmesy's pouring some tea. Shouldn't be too long. Holmesy's just... Here we go, he's running. He's coming to the computer. And... Yes, I am. Hold on. Hold on, I don't think... Wait a minute, I've got to get you live too because of my... There we go. Wait a second. Properties. Headphones. Spec for me.
Hello.
Yes, that's good. All right.
Beautiful. Let me grab my tweet real quick too so I can post it in my announcements.
Cool. Well, our cameras are live, which is good, so...
Oh, hello. I can't see you on my Hangout, by the way.
Oh, you can't?
No, I just see a logo, which is okay. It's all right if you've got... Maybe you didn't change the camera back to your secondary because you put the first one as your main one for the stream, yeah?
No, I can see me in my Hangout.
I can't see you. I can only see... Oh, now I see you. There we go. That's weird.
Weird boy. We're just getting everything ready, guys. Holmesy's just getting stuff ready as well.
Gucci.
All right.
All right. I am ready to roll, muchacho.
Cool. Hold on. Let me just pull up my script. People can see that probably. Doesn't matter. Let me get OBS back up. There we go. Okay. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host, Holmesy. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Yeah, doing good, dude. We are live on Twitch for the first time, actually. This is going to be good.
It's nice. I like. I know we did Mixer last week.
Yeah.
Or not last week. Last
time.
3 weeks, month actually. I'm gonna apologize to people that might be watching in stream and people that are listening because I did have some time away from the actual the podcast just for personal reasons. So I'm sorry you've had to wait another week to hear Dash's beautiful voice, but here we are.
It's your fault. Oh, your fault.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Doesn't matter. But guys, for Dash and Holmesy listeners, if you didn't know, we are actually now streaming on Twitch now rather than Mixer. So we'll be here now every 3 weeks for you guys to come along and listen if you want to come listen live, or just hang out in the usual places like SoundCloud and iTunes and give us the old listen there. But if you didn't know, what is Dash and Holmesy? It's our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast where myself and Holmesy will look into some of the hottest games right now. We're currently playing Persona 5, and we're diving into Holmesy's first playthrough of the game. Don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, and you can also follow us over on iTunes where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating. But don't forget to also follow us over on 8bit.net with our Hungry family every 3 weeks. Holmesy, let's jump into the next chapter.
Yeah, so we've made a little bit of progress since Madarame's Palace. I've sunk another. I seem to kind of get like a decent dose of the game kind of through here as well. Like this it's taken a while to make like progress, but now that we've gotten, I say this every time, now that we've gotten past the first palace, now that we've gotten past that ordeal, we're in a better place now. But I'm up to the 18th of the 6th, so we're halfway through June. We've had a few more of the old classroom questions and quizzes. I've been cheating and looking up the answers for those, so I get my knowledge up.
Yeah.
But we've made some progress. We've done a couple of mementos. We're trying to find our third target.
Yeah,
it's been good. We're on a roll.
Yeah. So have you actually been grinding mementos?
Yes. So I started it up and I had one which was ready to go from my last playthrough, which is just like I think it was to do with there's like a girl who I can't recall names because there's so many. But there was a girl who was beating on this guy who she liked, but it was like the whole kind of, she thought he liked the kind of thing. Holmes is a cheater. I would never never. So, so that was the last mementos that I did, and then there was one that needed some investigation. So I went and I had to figure out who the school bully was at the front of the gate, and figured out who that was. Went in and told him, "Don't do that." And we've done a couple of those. I have some stuff to talk about with mementos too, but you keep going.
No, that's all right. That's good. I want to hear about it. So my first question is, now that you've passed Matarame's palace, and I can't remember if we discussed this last time. Did we actually get to the date where he was on TV and everything?
We did, yeah. So he had his big confession. He did his kind of like, TV broadcast about like, doing the wrong thing, being a shit dude.
Yeah.
And now we've moved on from there, and like had some time to kill as usual until we got like a new suspect or our new persona target. But yeah, it's just Mementos.
Yeah. So now, you've you've basically been grinding Mementos now, have you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it because Mementos have come up twice, and only because I brought it up twice. I have some quarrels with one mechanic in the game. This is the first mechanic in the game that I've realized. I know it's going to be a long-term thing.
Talk about it.
And this is my own problem that I've created because I've ranked up Ryuji so much.
Right.
But one of his abilities gives you a chance to insta-kill upon ambushing an enemy. And I've been going up to some of these enemies with a full slate of personas that I haven't fused or done anything with them. And the downside to having that ability and having a full persona set, and not fusing them, is if you ambush an enemy and you're successful with the insta kill, you gain no experience, you get no money, and you can't gain the persona because your slot is full. So as soon as you ambush an enemy, it says your persona slots, your persona inventory is full, and that's the end of the interaction. The enemy just lunges forward, disappears, and that's the end of it. And I've missed out on a whole bunch of experience and money because I've had my persona slots full, and his ability cuts the fight before you can even get into it. I don't know if you've had that, Dash. You have a confused look on your face.
Yeah, no, this hasn't happened to me. So this is something different that you're experiencing than I am.
Yeah, really, it's a not something that I expected to see, but it comes up. Yeah, you attack the enemy. Black and red dialog box pops up saying, your persona inventory is full, and you hit OK. The enemy fades away. No battle, no experience, no money, nothing. It's just you. Too bad, too sad. On your way. Yeah. So I've gotten Igor has given me more inventory space or persona space, so that's not going to happen for another 5 personas that I fill up. But I went through my Mementos during the second and it's my third and fourth run of the last 2 that I mentioned before.
Right.
And maybe 2 out of 4 interactions with enemies that I could have ambushed were just dead fights. Like they just did that dialogue box and ended.
Interesting.
So, yeah, something you might not have seen.
No, this is definitely interesting. How many now that you've defeated 2 bosses, I'm guessing you would have grinded at least 2 stories of Mementos, like 2 floors or 3.
I'm down to the 4th floor now.
You're down to the 4th floor of Mementos now.
So I just got to the little sort of almost like the train stop sort of space where you can save and console with your team members kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've gotten to that. So I think that was on the 4th floor down. I've gotten to that now.
All right. How are you finding the repetitive? Because I'll be blatant with it. It is kind of repetitive. How are you finding the repetitiveness of Mementos at the moment?
I don't actually mind it so far, although I was just a little bit upset about the whole I might not have found it that frustrating because a lot of the fights weren't I couldn't do the fights in the end anyway, so I got to skip through for the sake of time. It was kind of good to get those that dialogue box and skip the whole fight, but a lot of it was just
any mask fusions at the moment.
I haven't done any. Oh, I've done some in the past, but I can't recall who they were because they ended up the ones.
Well, one was Arsene, yeah.
Apart from that was the one at the very start. I've done some in the meantime, but they ended up being personas that I've already had, just stronger versions with mix of techniques and stuff. So I haven't really had any that are I mean, Arsene is the most unique one that you get so far. I haven't had any that have popped up in I haven't seen any been damn, you look super different and really, really cool. Nothing like that. They've always been the little devil looking snowman or the weird slimy penis looking guy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I was going to say, have you found any need to make any fusions of masks at the moment?
No, I've actually I'm kind of keeping them. That's probably why my inventory stayed full for so long, but I haven't had the urge to do it. Only because I've been able to get through most of my fights. I've not really had any struggles with trying to get through them all. Yeah.
So here's the thing. My first playthrough of Persona, I actually maxed out my masks. And
so you got them all to your same level as your character, you mean? You capped them at 20 and then kept them going with you?
Pretty much. And the thing was, every time it fucking mug. Every time it would come up saying, "Oh, mask's full," and I'd have to replace a mask inside the in the inventory. Basically, say you have to dump this mask and replace it with this mask. The good thing about that is it would come off each mask and show its level at the time. And I would say, okay, well, I basically go for each level and go, okay, this one's the weakest, you're out, this one's in. The problem I found with that, though, later on is that having an inventory full of masks and then trying to, like, what I found was Igor was actually requesting, no, you got to bring this mask back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I found out later on that was actually a hindrance to actually me maxing out my masks. I didn't know about that until like my third playthrough of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's something that I advise you look out for. If you do end up like maxing out your mask, head over to the Velvet Room and see if Igor is requesting certain masks to come back to the Velvet Room. Plus, what happens is it actually levels you up a lot faster if you actually fuse the masks. I didn't know about that.
I've done a couple of those in the meantime because I remember him asking for. I can't remember who they were. They were like common ones, but it was just like the first two was like, hook us up with this and this, and then we'll do some good Persona trade deal memes. And like I did that for the first one. I think he asked for like a couple more after that, but I did that and it I think it gave me like an EXP boost, or like it raised my confidant like rank or something like that. I can't recall what it was because this was before the last palace that I completed, so it was about like over a month ago now.
Right.
So, it's I've been trying to do that. I haven't really been worrying about ranking them up so much, so I've just been kind of using the ones that kind of work the best for like the fights that I have, and not really considering what level they're actually on.
Right. I should ask, what are your feelings right now about because we covered Yusuke last time, and now that you've kind of had a little bit of time with Yusuke outside of the Madarame mission, has his character started growing even further with you? Like, how are you feeling towards his character now?
I like him a lot. I do really like Yusuke. I have a note down about this as well, and it says Yusuke and Sojiro are like the family they never had.
Nice.
You don't really know much about Sojiro's backstory anyway. You know about Yusuke's obviously from the last palace we've done.
Yeah.
But like part of what I've gone through now was like Yusuke staying the night at Weeaboo's place.
Yeah.
And he stays on like the futon for the time being, but like he comes down and drinks coffee with Sojiro and like spends the morning talking to him before he leaves and says like, I need to further my art and learn about people. I need to go and live back at like the school dorms and get out in the outside world kind of thing. But like the conversation they have and the way that they relate is that they're like, it's like he's Yusuke's dad, but he's not kind of thing. It's just like, God damn, like, I feel like there's a future bond that they're going to have throughout the rest of the game. And he leaves like the
painting.
Sayuri. Sorry, he leaves the Sayuri behind as well, which I thought was real nice. And also it's just like, damn, he likes this place, or he likes these people, so it's good. Yeah.
There'll be something that'll play into that further down the line too. See, that's what I mean. Every little thing in this game.
There's a place for everything, and
That's
everything.
correct.
Yeah.
Kind of
thing,
yeah. How are you feeling right now about the game?
I'm digging it now. Yeah, like if you've been listening or watching every single episode, I'm so sorry you're here. This is gonna be like watching the same podcast 4 times in a row. But the start was really hard. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's no longer a chore to go into a palace. The first palace was just like, it's just gotten easier to play as time's gone by, and I definitely am getting the momentum now, trying to momentum, or should I say mementos? I'm getting the momentum getting through the game now. It's much easier to play and much more fun to play because everything is pulling me in. There's new things to find out about different characters and places and people. It's just good.
Yeah. So you've now ran into a new character. Well, I wouldn't say ran into. You're starting to get introduced more to a new character now. In Makoto. Mm-hmm. She's the student council president.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about what you know so far about her.
Well, I know she's related to Sai. I don't know how to say her name. Sai.
Yeah, Sai. Yep.
Sai. I know they're related now. I didn't expect that.
Yep.
And you get a little bit of a cut to that when you're getting the interrogation scenes. Obviously, the game you're playing is like a recollection of everything that's happened up until the moment you started the game.
Yeah.
And she's super distraught about the fact that her sister has been involved in like the Phantom Thieves kind of stuff, and she's just like, tell me more.
Yeah.
True kind of thing. Like, if this is true, then like I have some things to say to my sister kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well, she's in trouble when I get home.
Like that kind of vibe. But I'm anticipating something, and I I don't know whether, I mean, I feel like it's because of the cover on the game though as well. And like this is, if I'm right, and don't say anything, don't you dare.
Okay.
I don't know whether I feel like she's going to be another Persona user because she's on the cover of the box. She's got this whole kind of conflicted vibe and feel about like how she's talking to this as a Akechi guy. She's talking to him about like his views on the whole thing. She discovers who the Phantom Thieves are. She listens to Ryuji kind of spill the beans. And then she's got a sister on her back, and then she's talking to our guys, and she's like, "Don't let me down," trying to find out who these Mafia boys are. And I feel like once we do that, and she sees what justice is from our eyes, she's gonna be like, "Damn, that's some good shit. I don't like what everyone else does." And then she's gonna, she's gonna be a Persona user. I feel like she's gonna be our sixth user.
I'm staring up because I'm looking at my collector's edition, and it's got the cover on it, and I'm just. Yeah,
they're not in their Persona, like their metaverse gear in the cover though. Obviously,
no.
So, I mean, like Akechi isn't.
No.
You can see him, so I don't know whether he's going to be because he's on the cover, but he's in his normal uniform.
Yeah,
like the whole detective kind of dudes. I don't know whether he's going to be a long-term like Persona user too.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to find out.
Future episode.
Yes, exactly. So, well, way in the future, which is we're expecting a bit of a length on this as well. I mean, obviously we're doing one every 3 weeks, so this will probably go to the end of the year, which is fine.
Yeah.
So another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
With the wrap up of Madarame's palace, obviously being the second palace as well, how do you have any definite comparisons now to when you were playing his palace, like in terms of difficulty and everything? Like, did you find anything? How do I put it? Did you find anything different in terms of the way you kind of had to battle different enemies and different shadows and everything compared to the first one? I mean, I know the first one we had a lot of tutorial-based stuff, but there was a lot of things in the first palace that they didn't have in this second palace in terms of the way that an enemy structure was, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I did like the way that they gave you the option for fighting Madarame, where it was like, do you want to send someone off to grab that black paint and mess this stuff up, or do you want to keep everyone together and just like fight them kind of head on? Like, I feel like the only tactic really there is like if you've got the right health and the right strategy, always go with the paint, always stick to the paint because it's going to make that fight so much easier. He's weak to everything, including physical damage.
Yeah.
But in the first fight, you didn't have the choice. It was just like Morgana's like, yo, I'm gonna go sneak up and distract the boy, steal his crown, kind of thing. So
yeah,
I liked having the option of doing that, but I still feel like that tactic was the right way to do it.
All right.
I only found that the fight against Madarame was like the hardest part. Like everything else has been playing on easy. I gotta say, playing this on the easy mode and having the chance to go back into fights has played a great deal of advantage to me.
Oh yeah.
Because you can go into a fight, learn what their weaknesses are, and if you catch them early and you get the weaknesses early game, then you can wipe a fight nice and easy. Like like my main dude Senpai's. I've got so many different elements of attack, like down to like nuclear element damage as well, and like that plays such a strong role in getting like a knockdown and then all out attack just to like win a fight. So
yeah.
I feel like the strategy I've got so far, I don't know whether the game's going to change in a way that's going to make it harder, but the way that I've been playing it so far, I've found it's been pretty easy to get through a lot of these fights, and I'm expecting something to make it harder. So yeah. Yeah.
I'm nodding for audio listeners. I'm just giving him a look of and I'm just nodding like yeah.
Look, I'm sure stuff's going to change.
Oh yeah, look.
Easy breezy, beautiful right now.
It is Cover Girl, but look, it's not for anything. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you're on the right track. As any game does, as you go forward, it gets harder. There are different tactics and everything that you'll find through not actually like fighting or anything. Actually, your everyday live kind of thing, like as everybody puts it, the Tokyo simulator. So like as you go through different things in Japan, you'll find, as I said, more confidants, more upgrades and everything. By the way, that's what I wanted to speak to you about. Any new confidants?
Akechi.
Just Akechi?
Just Akechi. I don't recall any others popping up in the time I played today.
How'd you meet him?
Sorry?
How'd you meet him? Because I can't remember that.
You meet him at the film studio.
Okay, that's right.
You go into the film studio and there's that really monotonous kind of, or like not monotonous, the really wrong word. really redundant teacher telling you about this is how filming works. In the editing room is where they edit all the stuff to go on the show. And it's just
Right.
like, no way. Is that why it's called the editing room?
Yeah.
And there's like all that boring dialogue, and then he pops up and he's just like, damn, I'm charming. Look at my rugged haircut and looks.
I was gonna ask you, did you pay attention to the dialogue?
Which dialogue? There's many a dialogue that I've had with him so far.
Akechi's dialogue when he first walks in.
Nothing in particular stood out to me. Like I noticed like his dialogue or his thoughts about the Phantom Thieves kind of thing, or like them not being like them not having justice at heart kind of thing, or like them not thinking about, or their perception of justice is not that of the law kind of thing.
So when you guys are standing in the hallway and you're talking about oh, I'm so tired.
I know he's listening to us or whatever. And he's just like, didn't I hear something about pancakes? And
Right.
it's just like, I mean, he's been listening for a little while if he's kind of heard all that. I noticed that, but like there was nothing super.
No. You told me that you've been listening, and you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, that's the most that stood out from that conversation. Nothing else. Yeah.
Guess what though?
Was listening to pancakes.
You've said something basically now that we're going to be coming back to in a future episode. So.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah. You've just kind of put a little bit of a time loop yourself now into this episode. So get ready for us to have a bit of a rewind moment here.
All right. Get ready for the relapse.
Yeah. So, but that's going to be later on. So another question for you is. Let's talk a little bit about your favorite character, which was Ryuji. So his character obviously is built now into a little bit more of a rebel. Him trying to kind of use like at this point, he's starting to know that the Phantom Thieves are starting to catch on, basically. Like, and he's starting to love the notoriety, I guess, is what he's starting to love about being a Phantom Thief.
Yep.
What are you finding in his character so far that has made him? Let's say I don't even know what the word is without spoiling it here. How are you finding his character so far in the game now that you've passed that second palace? I'll put it that way.
Because he's gotten us caught with Makoto, which kind of sucks. Like he's very braggy about who we are, kind of thing. Like him yelling out in the schoolyard about like being Phantom Thieves. It's just like, what's the use of being Phantom Thieves? We can't help anybody, kind of thing. And then she's recording that conversation. Like, An or Takamaki, she says something that doesn't allude to us being directly Phantom Thieves, but says some dialogue that kind of it tiptoes around it. But he directly says, and even in a phone call, I mean, with Makoto, when are we going to have a meeting about the Phantom Thieves? Like super loud. It's just like, well, what can we do there? It's just like he's put us in the shit.
Oh yeah.
Now, like 2 times he's given away who we are to the same person, fortunately.
Yeah.
But, he's sort of he very much likes being indirectly in the spotlight kind of thing. So I've noticed that a little bit.
So now that Makoto knows you guys are the Phantom Thieves as well, like now that she knows the group is the Phantom Thieves, how has the dynamic now changed with the group in terms of how they're trying to treat, not trying to expose themselves? You know what I mean? Like, how are you finding that they're basically handling this situation? Is it like, has it been like? I'm trying to get more into the writing here. Like, how have you found the story kind of taking a turn for the worse? In like expecting it to take a turn for the worse. You know what I mean?
I think I know what you're trying.
Yeah.
Get to as well. Like, you can definitely see, like, particularly An, like she starts to question the morals of what we're doing.
Right.
She has a lot of doubt out of everybody. She has the most doubt about like whether what we're doing is the right thing.
Correct.
And I feel like, man, I've just blanked on what his name is again. Cool. I'm Sojiro's boy. Why am I blanking on his name? I just said
Yusuke.
Yusuke. Gosh, I'm so sorry. Yusuke's got like the most level head about this whole thing. Like he's had a very outwards looking in kind of approach and mentality about it. He's very clear and level headed, and I love his character for that. Like he's creeping up there as like one of my favorite characters. But yeah, I think his perspective on it and the way that he kind of spoke about, or the way that he kind of brought everyone to like the same kind of playing field has sort of helped to bring them back together. But yeah, there was a lot of dialogue after we get found out, and after you hear Akechi's kind of stance on the whole thing. Everyone starts to question, like, damn, we're really doing the right thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that.
I still think it's the right thing.
Well, you've hit, and that's what I was going to ask. Do you think they're doing the right thing? Look, they've hit the nail on the head. You've hit the nail on the head. It was what I was trying to get to without kind of just spoiling it a little bit, but that's good. My question now to you is Makoto's character as well. How are you finding her as introductory into her role within the Phantom Thieves, not necessarily being a Phantom Thief so far?
I like it. I think it's nice to see her kind of struggle as well, and I like her kind of perspective, because you see a lot in the start of her just being like that nosy kind of pain in the ass girl that keeps following you around and being like, "What are you up to? What are you doing? I'm keeping an eye on you, kids."
Yeah.
But like, there's a whole other agenda that you don't see that she's taking care of, and I've written this down in exact words, and I'm going to read this out for
Please
you.
do. Please do.
Shiny Principal is a manipulative round boy. Because that guy, that bald dude whose name I also didn't write down. I just wanted to call him Principal.
Principal Kabayakawa.
Kabayakawa, that's it. Yeah, him. He's a piece of work, man. He is a manipulative piece of shit. And yeah, he's also got another hidden agenda, because there's people that he's answering to. He has to answer to. He's getting Makoto to do his dirty work for. Yep. And it's just, there's this.
Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Yeah. Are you understanding? Like, there's a loop going around. Like, if they're in a loop basically. So
like people, I feel like it all kind of like it ends with Sai and starts with Weeaboo kind of thing. Like, it all kind of like. I feel like he's the start of the whole thing. He's being interrogated for what he's been caught doing at the start of the game, kind of thing.
All right.
But like, he's the start of it all, and then at the very end of the game, she's the one interrogating you, kind of thing. And like, she's in touch with people who are in touch with the school. There's like people in the middle of. I don't know. There's people that we don't know about yet as well. Like the bald guy that Ryuji bumps into at the restaurant.
Yep.
Back in like when we're doing the second palace, like that guy is someone of importance. We don't really know who he is yet. Like, I know he's got to be someone. Don't know who, but he's got to be someone.
Maybe. So, have you met the Mafia boss yet or not?
Not yet. No, okay. No. So, I mean, I know we're going to find someone eventually. The last thing we've kind of had happen before popping back up in the school was Makoto and Senpai were in an alleyway, and then one of those drug dudes comes up and is kind of like, "Yo, you guys want to make some extra money part-time? What you got to do is deliver an envelope." It's like, "Oh, yeah, what's in the envelope? Drugs?" And then we stand up for Makoto and just say, like, "Hey, don't do that. Violence isn't the answer," kind of thing. So
yeah.
That's cool. And she calls up and says, "Thank you." That's actually, I feel like that's a cool little, like a foreshadowing, a testament to Makoto's character, because she takes the time to go to the cafe where you live and work and then find out from Sojiro what your phone number is, just so she can call you and say thank you. Right. I think she's misunderstood.
Yes.
Makoto.
Yes. That's definitely a great way to actually put it.
I feel like she's got people's best interests at heart, but the wrong people take advantage of her.
Let's go back a couple episodes. Have you been calling your teacher up to clean your room?
What do you mean by clean my room? No, I haven't actually. No, you know what? I haven't really been focusing on all that kind of stuff. Funnily enough, instead, the things I've been focusing on, I need to go back to the library and get more books to read on the train.
What a good boy!
I got a trophy. I got a trophy today for hitting five baseballs and getting a home run.
Yeah.
And I will always call back to the most helpful item in any fight. Do the batting cage. Go back there and do it every day you can, because you get a revival bead, and that shit is invaluable. It's so freaking useful.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've died and been like, damn, I needed another character to like keep me alive, and it's just like, oh, I know. Batting cage, 5 hits in a row, revival bead, boom.
Nice.
And it's so easy. Once you get the hits down, it's a really easy way to get an expensive item for free.
Oh yeah.
Or for free. I think you pay 500 monies for it, but I mean, you get an item out of it, and you get I can't remember the skill tree you bump up now.
That would be.
It's not efficiency, or is it? No, it's not efficiency. You bump something up.
I'm pretty sure it's proficiency.
Ends in efficiency.
Yeah,
proficiency. That's it. Efficiency. Yeah, that one.
So that was actually going to be one of my questions. Like every episode, basically, how has your stats been growing? Like, have you done any more in the area to grow those stats, like guts and all that?
Nothing kind of like specifically, I guess. Like every time I go back to the airsoft place and buy new stuff, like I go there and it's just like, oh, I still haven't got the guts to ask him what's in the bag, so I gotta wait. Because that dialogue's kind of stuck there.
Oh man, yeah. So there's those things there that essentially, if you grow those stats, you'll be able to kind of open those dialogues, those pathways, which makes it different for you as you go forward.
Yeah, I haven't done those kind of things yet.
That's
like,
okay.
I always, whenever I get the chance, I'll do like stuff with Sojiro, like I'll make coffee with him or like learn stuff. I did see kind of like a cool little thing. I know they mentioned like the weather affects the way the game is for like your fighting shadows in the metaverse, and like that can change how difficult or easy they are to fight. It's also really cool to see that it also affects how well you can study or other like traits that you go through as well. Like I did studying and it was like, hey, you gained +1 for doing study in the cafe.
Right.
It's also raining. It's also a really rainy day. It seems like the weather helped you to study, so you gained plus another knowledge. I thought that was kind of nice to see, like little kind of weather things change the way that you concentrate. Because I gotta say, rainy night will help me sleep like a baby. So I appreciate the tiny little attention to detail there, or like the way it helps people concentrate.
Yeah, no, that's good. I should ask, how have your relationships with your confidants been? Have you grown many of those relationships to kind of grow your stats at all?
Nothing apart from what's like necessary. So like I think like recently, no, that wasn't a confidant. Igor gave me like the new buff. Oh no, I think his thing did go up actually.
Igor is a confidant.
Igor, no, I know because he gave me I wasn't sure because I know he's a confidant, but I don't think was that a rank up maybe? Maybe it was a confidant rank up because he gives me the extra persona things, but I can't remember whether that was a rank up in confidant or if that was just a thing you wanted to give me. No, it was a rank up. I've gone up with him because he gave me the extra. Now I've got 10 slots of personas masters to keep, which is kind of cool.
Right.
He's one. Akechi is one that I've just gotten, so that's not gone up. And Ryuji went up one as well. But I think that's where I unlocked the insta-kill ability. Or it was I think the most recent one I unlocked for him was where he steps in to if you attack a character or an enemy with senpai, like your main dude, he has a chance to step in and finish the enemy off, kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. That happened with Morgana for me the first time, finally.
Right, because if you recall what I said, basically growing those stats with your confidants, like Takamaki, you'll be able to open up those kind of different powers or like helpful things, those techniques when you are in battle, like sexy technique with Arn, which basically flips over the sometimes if you're trying to capture those personas, and you answer the question wrong and they get angry, she kind of persuades them to make sure that you're answering them right and everything.
Yeah, so. you mentioned this earlier as well. Yeah. I'm gonna just give you information now instead of going off a question, because there's one thing I want to do now.
Yeah, please do.
I don't trust Morgana. I don't trust her.
Okay.
Her voice his voice actor, which is a lady, which always why I say her.
Go on.
But I don't trust him. I don't trust
why?
him. Because there's so little we know about who he is and why he is the way he is.
Right.
And he acts like he knows so much about so many things, but he's always super vague all the time.
Right.
And I don't know what he wants. We don't know whether he's a shadow, or whether I don't know who or what he is, apart from the fact we're going to the real world and he's a cat, which is it's fine, whatever. Right. Like I don't trust Morgana. I don't get good vibes from the character in the long term. Also,
that's some good shit.
That's some good shit.
Go on.
I also just because of that.
Yeah.
I now because part of the dialogue recently was about when Sojiro was not Sojiro, when Yusuke was staying over at Sojiro's cafe. Yeah. Something comes up about Lady Ann because she falls asleep on the futon, and then she leaves, and Morgana's like, I can't let someone take her before I need to become human so I can romance her or whatever kind of thing. It's just like, I'm a romance lady. I've decided if there's a way I can do it in the game, I'm going to romance her before Morgana can.
Just to spite Morgana? What an asshole.
I hate Morgana's character. I don't like him at all, and I just want to... Yeah, that's the only reason I decided that I'm going to do it is like, you know what? I don't like Morgana.
Can we just clarify before we move on? Because you said, don't know about Morgana's voice actor.
Not the voice actor.
No, it's not the voice actor. Not the voice actor. lovely
voice
lady,
actor.
Cassandra Lee Morris, lovely
No,
lady.
sorry. When I say that, I mean because I said she, and Morgana is a he, but the voice
Yeah,
actor is a she. And
it is a
Morgana
she.
also sounds like kind of a girl's name as well, so it's very
It does.
confusing.
It is confusing, isn't it?
That's why I keep saying she, because Morgana sounds like a girl's name, but it's a dude. But
Don't
the
worry,
voice
you weren't the
actor's-
only one when I first started playing it. I thought it was a girl too.
There's my confusion. I'm sure the voice actor for Morgana is a lovely lady.
Yes. Now, you want to keep going. So what other notes have you taken down? Tell me.
So I want to know more about Akechi.
Akechi. Yep.
I want to know more about him because he's got another like he's set in his ways. Like I'm interested to see how he plays out in the story and what he kind of becomes because I don't know whether he's necessarily. I have my feelings about Makoto becoming a Persona user. I've got my got like a tingly feeling about her becoming one of us.
Okay.
But Akechi, on the other hand, I don't think he will, but I feel like he's going to be an integral part of the story in some way. I might not be right. I could be very wrong. There's probably people sitting here, including Dash, who'll probably be like, how wrong you are. But, I don't actually know. But that's the feeling I get. I don't know.
Right.
He's come up with a different perspective, or he's come into the story with a completely different perspective about like what the Phantom Thieves are doing, and it even made me question for a bit. It's just like, yeah, you're right. Hey, this forcing someone to change the way they see things in the world. It's not exactly giving someone free will. It's just going in and changing someone's being.
Let's you basically explain Akechi for a second. So what makes you think that in terms of Makoto isn't this like what you've just said? Why isn't it the same for Makoto? Because she's come in with like an objective to hunt down the Phantom Thieves and expose them. So what makes you think that she's actually going to be a Phantom Thief?
Because there's lots of little tiny bits in between dialogue. Like so we'll say like there's an important scene where she's talking to El Shani Presidente, and and then after that she'll leave, and then there's like a little scene about her being like, I can't remember the exact words, so I can't quote the dialogue because there's so much that I've gone through today.
Right.
But there's scenes where she has like doubt, or like there's responses to the things that she's being told and asked to do, where it's just like she doesn't seem happy in who she's being and what she's doing for the people that she's helping.
Right.
And she's doing this for the Phantom Thieves, and like if she'd have responded the way that I expected she would in the start of the game to finding out who the Phantom Thieves were, my first assumption would have been she knows who the Phantom Thieves are. Dob them in straight away. Right. But now that you've seen more about who she is and like the conflict she has and what she's doing, that's part of how Yasuke became who he is now. Because like he had the conflict with Madarame and like who he is, and him stealing people's artwork. There was conflict there. There was something that had to resolve, and like something within himself he had to kind of fight to become one of the Phantom Thieves. And the same kind of thing I think is going to happen with Makoto. But for Akechi, I don't think so, because he is very set in his ways. Yeah. And he's come in with a very strong personality and a very strong idea about what is right and what he wants to do. And he sees the Phantom Thieves as a threat kind of thing. So
you don't actually see a resolve within Akechi. You see more of a resolve in Makoto and her character. You feel that she has more of a reason to be a Phantom Thief than Akechi
does. That being said, it could be very much the same, except like they may almost be polar opposite characters. Right. The Makoto comes in as being like this, snitchy, narky kind of bitchy character that's following you around and checking like your every word, and she's just like the kind of shitty. Whereas Akechi comes in, he's real charming, he's very suave and confident in himself, and he's set in his ways, knows what he wants to do. Yeah. But he opposes the Phantom Thieves. Yeah. Maybe he's going to change his ways and, I don't know, discover who the Phantom Thieves are too, and then realize, like, through talking to us that he wants to be a part of it as well. I don't know. He's someone that you want to oppose immediately, like in regards to like the fact that he doesn't want the Phantom Thieves to continue doing what they're doing. And you kind of get the same vibe from Makoto in the start. So maybe, I don't know, but like my vibe right now is that he's not going to be one. He's going to be maybe someone that supports, but not necessarily part of the team. Okay.
No, look, honestly, your thoughts are very valid, actually, to be honest. Like, it does seem like Akechi's character would have less of a resolve for a reason to actually be a Phantom Thief than Makoto. But regardless, I mean, Makoto's main objective obviously was to expose them to actually find out who the actual Phantom Thieves was. Like right now, obviously it's a case where Ryuji has kind of exposed them over the phone when he turned around and said, "Hey, are we going to meet up and do that Phantom Thieves meeting?" or whatever, which was like fucking excellent dialogue. But it's almost like how would she know it's off just basically a phone call that's saying, "Hey, how about that Phantom Thieves meeting?" You know what I mean? Like, in terms of her resolve to actually being one and actually trusting these people as well, to actually become one. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you're on the ball, but at the same time, I don't know if you are. So no, look, you're on the right path. I'll put it that way. But yeah, obviously from what you are doing at the moment, there's a lot more that you're actually going to learn too. So let's jump back now to Mementos.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously the main grind of what's happened since our last episode. Obviously, been grinding a little bit more down there, and so Mishima, Mishima plays a big part in Mementos. Obviously, giving you guys requests. Have you been taking any of those requests yet, or?
I have, yeah. So there's another one I just got before I ended like my session playing today. Like I think I literally just got it as I turned off the PlayStation. So
right.
as I started up playing today though, I had one that was sitting there ready to go. And then the second one like required a little bit of like investigation. I think the newest one I've just gotten to also requires like investigation. It's not one of like, because they come with different ranks as well, which I kind of like. It tells you like, are you going to get cucked when you try and do this, or is it going to be okay?
Yeah.
And like both the fights I've done so far have actually been pretty breezy. Like I've had actually like, easy, just like the two that I did, like I had a little bit of a delayed discovery and figuring out what the weakness was of one of them, but I finally got it.
Right.
And then the second one that I did was like I found the weakness straight away, and it was almost like a normal shadow fight. Like it was just quick and easy.
Right.
They're not super hard, but they give you plenty of EXP. Like I did one of them, and both Ryuji and Weeaboo both went up a level, which was great. And then the next one I did, Morgana went up a level. So it's been easy to kind of get through them, but it's been good to get experience. My only gripe was that one insta-kill ability that Ryuji has, but I'm just going to make sure I keep my inventory empty,
right,
or at least like fuse personas regularly, so that I can actually keep my space clear and then have stronger personas to infuse to other ones later on as well. I think that's just something I'm gonna have to keep on top of. That's all.
No, that's all right. No, that's good. So at least now you're actually fulfilling those. You're grinding. Well, you've grinded Mementos. Have you grinded Mementos all the way down, or have you kind of like stopped and said, "I'll come back"?
I stopped as soon as I defeated the last guy. So like I got to a certain point, and it was just like, "Hey, do you want to keep going, or do you want to like if you've defeated the well, we've done our request kind of thing. Like, what do you want to do?" And I just said like, "Let's go. Let's just get out." And I pretty much stepped out and just continued with the story, because I feel like I'm almost, and I feel like this is possibly part of what I think I've been kind of lucky in the way that I've played the game, because like I've spent very little on items in the game. I've kind of gotten a lot of it for free, or like discovered it throughout my play.
Right.
And all of my money instead has been spent on my character's equipment and their gear. So like now I have like for where I'm up to in the game, every single character aside from Yusuke, because I don't have him in the party right now, every single character I have has got max gear, max everything. Like they've all got like the best stuff you can physically buy in the game right now. And that helps a ton. So I kind of feel over leveled. Like I've gone through and everything's been a really big breeze. Like one of the what was it? One of the fights I did was like 5 of the slime guys that came out, and it was like it was shown on the shadow as a tough enemy because he was glowing red.
Right.
Went in and fought him, got the ambush on him, used one of like the ice attacks and wiped out all 5 of them in one hit. Like it was just done. Like easy fight. It was super quick. So
yeah,
everything's been really cruisy so far. I know
that's good.
It's the grind has kind of gone through, and I haven't felt the need to stay so far.
No, that's good. I guess that's good. So you haven't made it. So have you made it to the furthest point? So you haven't made it to the furthest point of Mementos, is what you're saying. So like you haven't gotten down to the lowest level that you can so far. You've kind of done your request and said, "Let's boot."
I'm pretty sure I got down to like, oh, actually no, because there's a third area that popped up after we finished the last palace.
Okay.
So no, I think I'm down to the lowest point in the section that I'm up to, which is the there's sort of 3 sort of areas that popped up on the map, and I'm up to this. I'm down to I think the bottom of the second area, and I'm coming up to the third bit that's appeared, but I haven't gotten that low yet.
No, that's good. That's all right. I mean,
I'm sure that bit might be more challenging because it's a new area again too, but I just haven't gotten to that part yet.
right. You're going to start noticing as you get further down to the look of Mementos starting to change too. So,
Yeah.
what you're going to say something? Go on.
I noticed the staircase kind of thing that popped up on it. Like I noticed more and more stuff sort of looked more distorted. Kind of the way that Madarame's palace is, where you go into that weird little upside down left and right staircase kind of vibes. I noticed the new area that popped up looked much like that, and I was like, that looks more twisted than usual.
Yeah.
And the other places look kind of tame. So I get I haven't gotten to that area, but I get the vibe that eventually it's going to get more distorted. And like, you know, the same as the way the palaces behave, the further you get to like something that's pretty big and important, the more distorted the place is going to get. So yeah.
So I should ask, because we covered a really important note last episode, which was two of the bosses that we covered. One of them was a false god. Not necessarily Madarame, but can't remember his bloody name now. The first one now.
Kamoshida.
Kamoshida. Yeah, thank you. There. So finally, you're correcting me. There we go. I was gonna say. So in terms of like, have you figured out what is happening yet? Or and I ask this every episode because I want to. It's one of those things where it's a breaking of the ice moment in your head, like when you figure out everything that's going down. Like, have you figured out maybe what's happening yet, or is kind of?
I don't feel like I've gotten any further than the last time we spoke about it, only because there's not really been a great deal about the I guess a great deal about that topic since I've done it. Like I haven't seen new any new palaces, I haven't seen any new like big bosses or like new names or anything like that.
Yeah.
And nothing's kind of alluded to like another kind of story. I'm kind of more invested in the story about the characters at the moment and not about like what the actual metaverse is.
Cool. No, that's good.
I feel like later there's probably going to be some kind of, like you said, like sort of like that
breaking of the ice man.
It was like, oh, that's what the fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to happen, but like probably a bit later in the game for me, because right now I've just been invested in seeing like how everyone's developing and how everybody's growing and how everybody's changing and like, you know, how everyone interacts with each other too.
That's okay. And the reason I ask, and I know you're still early into it, you're only up to the third palace, and the only reason I asked this is because I want to know if there's anything that I could have caught on to personally myself as well. Only being like early into the game. I remember playing early into the game and not really catching on just yet. I remember passing the second palace and being like, well, that was cool. That was an actually cool boss. I enjoyed that palace and everything. I wonder what the third one's going to bring. So, like, obviously moving into a third palace now, do you know what to expect of this one? Or, like, are you expecting any of the same or anything different now coming forward or going forward? Or...
I mean, there was a pretty big jump at least I feel like there was a bit of a bigger jump in terms of boss mechanic difficulty between Kamoshida and Madarame. Madarame I found much more difficult.
Yeah.
I say that though, like I revised some of my approach on that anyway, because I went in kind of all guns blazing I went in with the wrong approach anyway. But the mechanic changes entirely. Like it's definitely a completely different boss there. So I'm expecting that the next boss again.
Yeah.
If it's going at the same pace that it's been so far, then I'm expecting again another difficult fight.
Yeah.
I may not be right. I might be wrong. It might just be that it's like a boss with lots of health and like similar mechanics again, but I won't know until I get there. I am expecting though, because I feel like the general theme is like the closer we get to the like not so much the middle of something, but the closer we get to like our goal, the more twisted and distorted everything else seems to become too. So like the further down Mementos, the further through the palaces. I don't know. I feel like eventually, like the more bosses that we fight, and the further through the metaverse we kind of go, the more distorted things are going to kind of be.
Okay. I won't.
I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting.
No. And you're on the right path, but you know what? The third one might be a little bit different to that. Yeah. But I won't say anything because now, and you know, it's not for anything. No, I'm not being facetious when I say it. I'm actually thinking about it in my head and thinking, you know what? Now that I think about what he said, he's right. Those first two palaces did have those similarities, but I don't know. I'm not too sure about the third one. So I will say this though: you'll find that the third one's a little bit shorter than the other ones, which is good in ways.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I have a point about that here as well. I noticed that there's a lot about the you get a lot more time with this one for the whole Mafia investigation thing. Like, there's a lot more time that I feel like has been spent outside of the metaverse, learning about like Makoto and like other characters like Akechi and all that. Like, there's been more time spent not in there because we've got 2 weeks to find our target because Makoto's given us such a short deadline. And that obviously, I guess, also plays to the fact the palace is going to be shorter because our deadline now is so much shorter.
Right.
So going to be like, it says 2 weeks, and I know I'm on easy mode. So for me, I'm thinking this is going to take me 7 in-game days probably to get this all done. So I'm going to have a week to kill Mementos and do like batting cage, make coffee with Sojiro, kind of stuff like that. You know what's every time I play this game, every time I sit down and make coffee with Sojiro, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go downstairs and get a coffee from the coffee shop downstairs, and I get a coffee and I play the game. This game is subliminally making me want more coffee.
Want more coffee. Nice. You know what pisses me off? I'll be honest. Like, every time I went into the shop to impress the guy to kind of get my stats up with Sojiro, I'd be like, oh, I can make coffee now. I'll go make a coffee for Sojiro, see if my kindness goes up. Walk in, make the coffee. Sometimes he'd be like, oh, you're making coffee? I'll be right back. Just grabbing a packet of smokes. Walks out, comes back, drinks the coffee and goes, this is nice blend and whatever, and a little bit of kindness goes to you. The ones that piss me off is when you walk up to the bar and go, I'm going to make coffee to, make Sojiro happy. Close up the shop. I'm going home. Motherfucker, I did this because I want to get my kindness up on you. And you're going home? You're going to stay and drink this fucking coffee. Go get your smokes. You're staying.
I've had a couple of those come up too. And like, I don't know why, because there's a few times where it says like it doesn't seem like my bond with Sojiro will strengthen just yet. I'm just like, I don't care. I just want to make coffee with Sojiro. I just want to make coffee with him, right?
Yeah. And those are those moments where he walks off and goes home when I'm like trying to make coffee to make my kindness go up a little bit, but also just to kind of interact with the guy because I like the character. He's like, yeah, fuck off, I'm going home. Make yourself your coffee and close up the shop. It's like, really? I wanted to make this coffee for you, man.
I had a little bit of a cringe moment for. Oh, actually, I got 2 things I'm going to talk about before we.
Yeah, go.
Are we?
No, keep going.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
I got 2 things that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
One of them was about Ryuji drinking Sojiro's coffee. And like, God, it's so bitter, blah. And like, he did that, and I'm just sitting there in my chair, just like, Sojiro's gonna unleash on this kid.
Yeah, so did I. I thought that same. Yeah.
Fuck you little shit. Get out of my shop. But he's just like. Super zen and chill. I mean, like, yeah, I didn't drink coffee when I was your age either. It's just kind of like this really reasonable and like level-headed response and just understanding. It's just like, damn, Sojiro, be my dad. I mean, like, my dad's like that as well anyway, so it's actually kind of cool.
Nah.
But there's a really level-headed response, and then he tries it again and still doesn't like it. It's just like, yeah, it's all right. But the thing that really made me hate Morgana even more, more than I already did.
Here we go.
Really dislike Morgana.
God.
If you're listening, or if you're watching the VOD on Twitch, please comment on whether you like or dislike Morgana and what it is that makes you like or dislike Morgana.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry if the voice actor of Morgana ever listens to this. I'm really sorry.
Who is this little fucker that hates me?
It's not you. It's what they made you say for Morgana. I really didn't like. Everyone's like, damn, where's Yusuke gonna stay? Yusuke's like, I'd like to stay at Ann's, and Ann's like, that's never gonna happen. And Ryuji's like, nah, I can't. It's too small, and parents won't let you do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then Morgana's like, come and stay at our place. It's not my decision because I'm a fucking cat, but come and stay at my place.
Yeah.
It's like, why is that your decision? And I'm sitting there like, no.
Yeah.
Cat, you don't get to make these decisions. You're a cat, and you're staying in my place under Sojiro's rule.
Yeah.
You ask Dad first.
Yeah. I like how they walk off and the cat and he's like it's like, well, you're gonna have to ask
you to convince him. Yeah, like, thanks for throwing me in the deep end. Jeez, man. And then at the end, Ann ends up being the one that does it because she's just like, boom, I'm beautiful and charming.
Yeah. Oh, which is good. And he's like, oh, I heard that your mate's got to stay here, and Aunt talked to me, so it's all good.
Yeah, that was a sweet little interaction. I like that. He's like, she's a sweet girl. And I was like, he asks like, do you have a boyfriend? And it's just like, at first I'm like, that's kind of weird, Sojiro. And then after the conversation, when she grabs the bags and walks upstairs, he's like, she seems like a sweet girl kind of thing. And she's like, is he sussing out her to see whether she's suitable for his adopted son? Is he like, does he care more than we think he cares and lets on that he cares, but actually he really cares about your well-being? Who knows?
I'm doing the shrug shoulders.
He's doing shrug hands.
So
I feel like Sojiro is more of a softie than he lets on, which is kind of sweet.
Well, you gotta. This is what you gotta learn as you grow your relationship. But you gotta grow your confidant with him to learn that too, or else you're just in a lurch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Him and I'm a little after Sojiro, not Sojiro. I'm looking at the point that I've made here.
That's all right.
After Ryuji's little mess up with like telling everyone who we are, or telling Makoto who we are by accident.
Yeah.
I'm a little less keen on him now, so Sojiro's back up top.
Yeah.
Yusuke is coming up. Yeah. So it's in order of favorites right now. It is Sojiro, Ryuji, Yusuke.
Yeah. So Yusuke's coming. Wait. So Sojiro's kind of overtaken Ryuji and your favorite character again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think rethinking it, I think is Sojiro, Ryuji, and then Yusuke.
Yusuke's creeping.
He's real cool. I like it. He's very zen. He's very chill. Like
creeping
something that he said, which I actually related to a lot, which was this is something that I try and do in the real world, not when I'm playing the game. But like Ryuji was like panicking. I think Lady Ann and Ryuji were kind of like freaking out about stuff.
Right.
And he said something along the lines of, like, what's the use in panicking? Like, panicking is not going to help us in this situation. Like, if you don't need to panic, don't panic. Only do what's necessary to get through it. And then they're like, that's really wise. Just like, I'm not a wise person. I'm 25. I'm not that smart. But like, I try and think like, if there's no need to freak out, just sit back and think about the scenario. And then he said that kind of shit. And it's like, I like you a lot. You think about things from the outside looking in, and I relate to you. That's very cool.
I want to bring up one more thing before we wrap up. A couple of episodes ago, you asked me the question, how many palaces are there? And I answered with 6. Mm-hmm. Did you want to know how many number palaces there are? Because I found out the actual number.
Oh, yeah, because you guesstimated 6, yeah?
That's right, yeah. There's actually 7.
This is 7 deadly sins.
Right. Well, right. I don't know. But I'm saying there are 7 palaces. Okay? But that's not the end.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not going to say any more than that. You can go off that. Because for your own time's sake in your head, because I don't want you to think, fuck, how many more are there?
No, it's all right. I mean, I know that, like you've said, there's ways you can finish the game super early as well anyway, so...
Well, it's not... Yes, but that's not the ending.
Yeah, there's other ways to...
Like, when I said that there are ways to finish the game early, those essentially were game overs. When we talked about that last time.
Yeah.
They are paths to an ending, but they are essentially game overs, is what I'm saying. Okay. But,
yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
Right. There will be a pivotal point that we'll get to, but that's going to be near the end of the year, I guess, that we'll talk about in terms of an ending to the game. But in terms of right now where you are, you're very early into it. So at least we know you're up to number 3 out of 7.
Yep. Yeah, so, we're nearly up to it anyway. We're about to go in. We still don't know who our target is. That's where we're up to at the moment.
So you got a bit of learning to do there.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the next episode you'll be...
I'm sure we'll be. I'm hoping I can finish the palace by the time we get in there.
Yeah, we'll go 3 weeks, boy.
Yeah.
3 weeks. So, Holmesy, this was great. Once again. Good. So I want to actually, before we do go, so tell me your definite feelings right now towards the game. Are you really liking it? Like, are you digging it now, or?
I mean, same as last time we were here. I think like it's on that point now where like the momentum is consistent. There's nothing taxing or grinding or like slow that we have to do, and I kind of like now that it's just rolling. It's just there's more things are happening constantly. There's no useless walking around the train station. We're like, you have to catch the train from A to B. It's just like, man, I'll tell you what, my most used button in this game is R1, just to go like quick travel. Like,
yeah.
Send me here, take me to this place. Like, I use that so much more. Like now having that and having my strategies kind of like in place, I'm feeling good.
It's a heaven send with the R1 button, seriously, like that fast travel, because I tell you, I did that so many times too.
Even in the school, like it's like go to level 3 to the library to do the thing. It's like, no worries, I'm on level 1. Like R1, up, X, go.
That's it.
Sweet, awesome.
Yeah, it's such a heaven send that quick travel. I tell you, in any game, it's a heaven send. That's for sure. Holmesy, this has been good. What?
Heaven send.
Anyway,
the saying is God send, but I'm thinking things now.
He's trying to key things in here.
Yeah,
he's trying to key things in. This has been good, and I'm glad that you're actually really enjoying it too now. So this is good, guys. This has been episode 5 of Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. Oh, Yeah, and one other thing I will bring up. Myself and Holmesy are going to be doing a couple specials pretty soon as well.
We are?
We're going to be doing the
No,
Life
I'm
is
joking.
Strange. Yeah, we're going to be doing the Life is Strange specials. So, guys, if you didn't know, though, Dash and Holmesy is our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast. Shit, I'm bumbling all over the place here. It's our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast covering Persona 5 at the moment. However, in a couple of weeks' time, myself and Holmesy are going to do a special where we cover the first season of Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm. We're going to merge it into one. I know that Holmesy hasn't finished Before the Storm. I didn't think you finished it, did you? No, that's okay. And I'm not asking you to. I'm not asking you to finish it.
No,
that's okay.
I got plenty to say about that game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
and we'll cover that on the special. So I hope you guys look out for that. That's going to be a really cool one for us to actually cover, as well as our specials after that one, which will be in October. We're going to be doing we're going to be doing 5 episodes, basically based on 5 episodes of Life is Strange 2. We're calling it Dash and Holmesy's Life is Strange 2, TOO. So look out for that when that drops in October. But for now, guys, this has been Dash and Holmesy Take Your Heart, our book club inspired gaming podcast. You can follow Holmesy on Twitter and on Twitch at Holmesy5. You can catch me on Twitter at Dash Gamers, or you can just press the follow button right here on twitch.tv/dashgamer with a 3, not an E. I've got to try and get that fixed. Or just go straight to dashandholmesy.com, and you can listen to us over on SoundCloud and give us a follow there. Also on iTunes, where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating, and also over on 8bit.net with our hungry family every 3 weeks. Okay, guys, we will see you in 3 weeks. Much love.
stay hungry.
And that's it. We're done. You can stop Audacity if you like.
Beautiful. Let's go do that. Where is
All right.
stop? All right, cool. Just gonna say it real quick as well. Thank you to Echo and Slow Cool for popping in to the stream from the old channel.
The
guys.
old Holmesy.
Keep popping in.
And thank you to Superwin for following as well. Much appreciated. And thanks to NATO for popping in for the first few minutes of the podcast. I know he doesn't like Persona, but he pops in just to support anyway.
Aw.
I'm gonna try and get him on the train as well. Don't you worry, mate. He'll pop on that train. He was like that with Horizon, and then we got him to play Horizon, and he was like, "Oh, it's not that bad."
Aha.
Yeah. So we'll get him. Don't worry. Got him.
Got him.
But that's it, guys. Make sure that you return to Holmesy's channel. What time? Are you going to be doing that tonight or no?
Depends. I might be on tonight at like 7:30 or 8. Depends on whether I can get my...
Just look out for Holmesy on Twitter and he'll let you know.
Yeah.
Most of you are already following him, so make sure that you catch it. But we'll catch you guys in 3 weeks for the podcast once again. And as I said, we'll try and fit in the Life is Strange podcast as well sometime soon. Anyway, guys, we'll take care of yourselves and we'll see you soon.
Boy.
Bye.
All alone, confessing while I know